Edward was feeling his age. Being much older than the other engines, he was weaker and couldn't run like he used to. He was sent to the works, but while he was there, Sir Topham Hatt needed an engine to fill in for Edward, as the shipment numbers on the island were becoming larger, as were the number of passengers and freight trains. Gordon, James, and Henry were of course fed up.
It's disgraceful! Edward gallivants off to the works, leaving us to handle all of his tasks as well as ours. We're already busy enough as it is.
You know, we're all very busy. It's not just the three of you running this railway. Percy has pilot duties, and I have my own branch line to run. We're all playing a part here.
Well, you and Percy are handling the little work. We have to tackle the heaviest trains.
Little work? Gordon, I run the entire branch line all on my own. Percy tackles pilot duties all by himself. All work here is important, no matter how big or small. I thought you have learned that already.
We are becoming overworked.
Gordon's speech was rudely but thankfully cut short as the conductor blew his whistle and Thomas puffed away, not wanting to listen to the big blue engine. At the worst possible time. Worst time! What are you talking about? Don't you get it? Edward has gone away and left us with his work. Us. Edward's trains are not that heavy. I know because I shunted them. You know, this is more than just a little bit of work. I know Edward's gone and you feel overworked, but you're not alone. All of us are feeling tired. James just ignored Percy and puffed crossly away. Percy, despite not agreeing with the big engine's behavior, really wanted to cover for Edward and help, and talked to his driver about that evening. You can't do that, you've got pilot duties. Look, if it helps lighten the load, I'll be glad to do it. I can shunt trains in the morning and take Edward's afterwards. You can't be serious. I am not joking. You'll never be able to tackle heavy trains like Edward's on your own. I can and I will. Percy's crew could see he was not going to listen and just left for home. The next morning, Percy rose bright and early, and was soon bustling about the yard. He rushed to shunt as many trains as he could. His driver couldn't have held him back even if he wanted to. The little green engine was full of energy, and it was not until late morning when he stopped to fill up on coal and water. Gordon, James, and Henry were impressed with his performance and encouraged Percy to keep up his behavior.
Well, you seem to be in a good mood.
Oh, believe me, I am.
What's up?
Well, we finally have an engine to help us.
Who?
Percy has been taking Edward's trains and shunting ours. It's very thoughtful of him to help us. James, Henry, and I have never been happier.
What? Does the fat director know? Gordon, he shouldn't be pushing himself every second of every day. He'll wear himself out. Why don't you, James and Henry, think about him and stop acting like you three are the only ones working hard? We're all working hard.
Unfortunately, Thomas's prediction proved to be correct. The rush was beginning to take a huge toll on Percy. He was becoming more and more stressed and exhausted every day. The big engines began to grow more and more impatient with him as he was moving slower and slower when shunting trains. The yards were becoming backed up. Passengers and freight were delayed. Everyone was complaining to the fat director about how bad his railway was. One morning, Percy was struggling to arrange a freight train for Henry. The cars, knowing he was exhausted from being dangerously overworked, took full advantage of this. They surged against him, catching him and his crew off guard and throwing him off the rails with a jerk. Unfortunately, Percy happened to derail on the points leading into the yard, meaning no engine could come in or out. The big engines were furious when they heard, and all Percy could do was sit there and listen to them grumble. Presently, the fat director came to see what was up.
What happened here?
Percy told him about Gordon, James, and Henry and his plan. The three engines thought that the fat director would get another engine to help, but their relief turned to guilt when the stout gentleman turned around to face them with an enraged expression.
I will not tolerate engines who push others to do what is beyond their capabilities. Your behavior since Edward left has been unacceptable. You three will do all of Edward's work and shunt your own trains until Percy and Edward return. Do I make myself clear?
Crystal clear, sir. When Percy returned, Gordon, James, and Henry apologized.
We're sorry for our behavior and the stress we put on you, Percy.
Yes, if you need a break, just let us know. Apology accepted. Thank you all for being so understanding. Percy is glad to help out, and the big engines appreciate his help, but Percy always brings them down to earth if they act out of line, because he knows that if he doesn't, they will complain about work.